Water is life. No living creature could survive without it. On the Earth, 96% of water is found in oceans and seas. Barely 1% is fresh water from beneath the ground, or surface water in the form of rivers, streams, and lakes. The rest is frozen in glaciers and polar ice caps. Tubig ang bumubuhay sa atin. Dumadaloy ito at nagpapalakas sa ating katawan, kaya't mahalaga ito sa kalusugan. Tubig rin ang inaasahan natin sa pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay. Higit sa pagkaing dagat na hatid nito, tubig ang nagbibigay sa atin ng biyaya ng lupa, lakas at sigla ng industriya, at nagsisilbing tulay upang marating natin ang malalayong lupain. Tinaguri ang perlas ng silang, kayamanan ng Pilipinas ang kanyang katubigan.
Noong mga 1950s, kabilang tayo dun sa mga bansa na mayroong mayamang resource ng tubig. Meron tayong mahigit na 13,000 metro kubiko ng tinatawag natin na renewable fresh water. Noong 1990, bumaba ito doon sa 5,200 na metro kubiko. At pinoproject na sa taong 2025 tayo ay mabibilang dun sa mga bansa na critical ang fresh water.
Because of the open access nature and the competing and conflicting uses inland water resources are under stress from pollution from expanding towns and cities, dams that block the path of migratory species, exploitation and damage from industries such as logging and mining that have led to the decline and extinction of endemic species, plus the destructive effects of climate change. All these have transformed many of our freshwater resources in a state of stagnancy, declining productivity, and threatened biodiversity.
Kaya ang Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources ay naglunsad ng isang programa na tinatawag na Balik, Sigla sa Ilog at Lawa o Basil.
Under the scope of the National Inland Fisheries Enhancement Program being implemented by the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, new hope springs forth. Basil, which stands for Balik, Sigla sa Ilog at Lawa, aims to restore the productive condition of our freshwater resources, enhance their fisheries, repopulate indigenous species, and improve the lives of fisherfolks within these regions. The project's components provide a clear direction.
Unang-una yung capacity building. Unang-una rito yung tinatawag natin na organization noong management team na meron tayong national focal person, meron din tayong regional focal person na siyang mag-o-oversee ng implementation ng project doon sa region.
Crucial to capacity building is mobilizing the fisher folks to become the agency's partners in the field as managers and beneficiaries of the project. Regional offices are empowered to select and identify target management sites which undergo site validation. Regional water quality laboratories are also upgraded, accurate monitoring and profiling, and identify the natural food base critical in determining the species to be stocked for the fisheries enhancement. The second component is habitat restoration. This aims to bring back the healthy condition of the river or lake through strengthening of the buffer zone, which serves as filter for nutrients and pollutants.
Kasama din dito yung pagtatanim ng mga water-resistant trees, kagaya ng freshwater mangrove, ng mga bangkal, katmon.
Clearing overgrown areas of aquatic weeds is likewise an option in restoring the freshwater's ecosystem. The third component is habitat structure, the main goal of which is to build protective structures vital to fish breeding. First among these is the Bruche Park.
Yung Bruche Park ay isang istruktura na binubuo ng asang-asangat at saka mga bamboo na babakuran ng lambat na magsisilbing deterrent para hindi mahuli yung ating mga breeder kung sakasakaling maglagay tayo dito.
A second structure is the aquatic macrophytes bioabsorption system, a technology developed by Dr. Zafaralia of the University of the Philippines in Los Baños, Laguna.
Ang layunin nito ay mapaganda yung pumapasok na tubig doon sa ating mga inland waters. Yung mga aquatic weeds ay inilalagay doon sa tinatawag natin na AMS para sumala doon sa mga impurities, mga pollutants na pwedeng pumasok doon sa ating inland waters. At the same time, nagsisilbi din itong biopark o lugar kung saan pwedeng magsimula uli ang pagpaparami ng similya doon sa mga river system.
The third option is to designate a river sanctuary or refugia, a reserved area which is deemed appropriate for breeders to stay and breed without putting any structures but in which fishing is strictly prohibited. The fourth component is fisheries enhancement. This requires a careful and well-planned decision to introduce the most appropriate species to match the natural food base of the lake.
Ito yung tinatawag natin na rationalized culture-based open water fisheries na lalagyan natin ng tamang dami at tamang klase ng isla yung inland waters. At the same time, ay magkakaroon din to ng equivalent na management system.
Of significant involvement in this case are the fishers whose capacity in managing the lake or river has been built. The final and sustaining component is monitoring and evaluation. Significant data such as quantity and type of fish produced or caught, the socio-economic impacts on the lives of the fisherfolk beneficiaries, in order to gauge the strength and weaknesses of the program for further improvement. Through this, the program's effectiveness and sustainability is ensured.
Nagsimula ang Basil dun sa mga maliliit na lawa. At nang makita natin na naging maganda naman ang pagtanggap ng mga fisherfolk at naging maganda rin ang resulta nito sa mga maliliit na lawa, ngayon ay ito ay inililipat na, ini-extend na natin doon sa tinatawag natin na major lakes and river system.
7 major lakes and 6 major river systems fall under the priority spotlight of Basil. Today, a number of projects intended to complement and improve its implementation in these areas have been developed. One of these is the containment of invasive species, specifically the knifefish.
Kahit mag-stock tayo na mag-stock ng ating magagandang isda, kung nandiyan naman yung mga pesting isda, hindi rin gaganda yung kabuhayan ng mga fisherfolk.
Another is the development of breeding protocols for indigenous species like ayungin and biya. Efforts are likewise being done to bring back the native catfish or hito and repopulate these species in lakes and rivers. Private and satellite hatcheries are being established for these fishes. The applied researches to standardize the breeding protocols are currently being undertaken at the National Center for Indigenous Species located at the National Inland Fisheries Technology Center in Tanay Rizal. It is here where one can find the Germplasm Center, which collects and maintains the various indigenous breeds.
Yung na-develop na technology dito sa breeding nitong mga indigenous species ay ita-transfer naman doon sa tinatawag natin na satellite hatcheries. Kasi hindi naman kaya ng isang center lamang ng gobyerno na suportahan yung fingerling requirements nitong ating mga target area. So, ini-encourage din natin yung pag-develop noong tinatawag natin na satellite hatcheries na binubuo ng mga LGU hatcheries, private sector at even regional hatcheries para tumulong dun sa National Center na mag-produce ng fingerlings na kailangan natin para dun sa stocking program.
Within the 2 years since the program started, significant change and positive transformations within the many minor lakes and reservoirs have already been observed, compiled and documented, which will now be applied at the macro level in major lakes and river systems.
Isa pa sigurong benefit na nakuha sa project ay yung pag-develop ng tinatawag natin na aqua ecotourism. Na yung mga areas na dinevelop namin at nirestore namin ay naging lugar para maging pasyalan o pisyalan na nagbigay daan ito upang yung iba't iba pang tangay ng gobyerno ay mag-ambag ng kanilang proyekto doon sa aming areas na develop yung kanilang tourism at saka may mga areas talaga na nagkaroon ng livelihood.
Led by empowered fisherfolk communities, steered by a committed technical team, and guided by a passionate leadership. The Basil program has yielded significant accomplishments that cannot be overlooked and are worth replicating.
Maganda yung impact nito, hindi lamang sa kalikasan, sa biodiversity, sa fish production, sa livelihood, kundi sa overall na katayuan ng mga taong nakikinabang dito sa Lawa.
Tunay ngang may mararating ang sama-samang pagkilos at pagmamalasakit para sa angking kalikasan. Sa tulong ng BFAR at ng Department of Agriculture, muli nating binigyang buhay ang ating katubigan upang magkaroon ng isda sa kabukiran at isda sa kabundukan. Ito ang dulot ng matagumpay na pagbabalik ng sigla sa ating mga ilog at lawa.